Y'all ready to go shrimping?
My memory's like a goldfish. I love you just in case it's the last footage of me. Please clear my Google search history. We made it back from our shrimping adventure.
Where you get filled up with shrimp?
The big shrimp's already gone from there. He's two-fisted.
That's about a 4.5 foot alligator here. Some days we see every one, some days we don't see none.
I was waiting to see if he was already caught and mounted.
That's Stella, y'all. She jumped in my boat already.
Take you where you wanna go.
Hey there. Last week we left you with the promise of shrimping, and it is coming. We just couldn't fit everything into one video, so thanks for your patience. If you're new here, we're Jason and Katie, full-time RVers sharing the stories, fixes, breakdowns, and real life that comes with living on the road. We're pretty much the attitude that if we don't plan it, we just roll with it. Because honestly, if you can't roll with it, what's left? Our time in New Orleans and getting to Café du Monde were real treats for us. Bucket list stops officially checked. After that, we headed back to the rig to rest, but that didn't last long. We took advantage of a nice day to tackle a little RV chore we'd been meaning to do, debranding the rig. After our experience with customer service, it just didn't feel right advertising for the manufacturer of the rig anymore. This is our home on wheels, and we wanted it to feel like ours. So we took off the stickers we could, and just as we were finishing up, we got another visitor to our campsite. Okay, that was probably about the fastest we got ready for anything in our lives.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
It's a good thing we're going out on a boat.
Yeah, I don't know how far we're going.
Well,
We're going shrimping.
our offer from yesterday from one of the guys who works at the Marina that we're staying at, he came by as we were
Stripping stickers off of our rig.
debranding stickers. He came by and said, y'all ready to go shrimping? And we said, heck yeah, are you ready to take us? And he said, yep. And he said, get your ice chest and let's go. So
here we are, going.
Yep. We had to put away chairs and get Willow all sorted out, and hopefully she's not too mad at us. That she might miss supper. I guess we'll see you on the shrimp boat.
Anyway, I think we're here.
We got dropped off, told where to park over there. And
Yeah, we're just waiting
it smells like fish.
Man, my memory's like a goldfish. I love you, Rebecca and Nathan, just in case it's the last footage of me. Please clear my Google search history.
Where you get filled up with shrimp?
Yeah, I bet. We gonna fill this full of shrimp? Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Gotta work my way onto the boat, eh?
you're working for both of us.
This is no free ride. But it's not heavy.
They'll put water in there with the shrimp,
Right.
and then that big old hose over there,
Okay.
like a big vacuum.
And they'll just suck it all
Pick
out.
them up and dump them in that tank, and then they'll conveyor them up here.
Oh,
Okay.
Lay 'em out
And then it
on the
gets rid of
ground.
all the ice
Oh,
and
and
everything.
then it goes over. Ah, a little. Oh, ice chest.
Right.
Ready to go. Once we got the icebox loaded up and ready for the catch, we headed out into Lake Pontchartrain for some shrimping. While we waited for the boat to get into position, we somehow managed to catch another incredible sunset from the water. Louisiana was really showing off for us.
Yeah, but it'd still be kind of rough here. It'd be rougher over there on that side of the lake. This lake, you ever heard the Causeway?
Yep.
This is Lake Pontchartrain that the Causeway crosses over.
Oh, okay.
That's what they call the Twin Spans.
Yeah.
5 Mile Bridge.
I don't know which one we were on. We went to New Orleans today.
Right there.
So we'll probably be on that one, is it? Okay.
Tall buildings. That starts New Orleans.
That's New Orleans right there, yeah.
And just to set expectations here, we know absolutely nothing about shrimping. Pretty much everything we know comes straight from Forrest Gump. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. On the way out to the spot, Captain Jim and the crew started getting the nets ready. The best way I can describe them is they're kind of like giant basketball nets turned on their side with one end tied off. The wide end is held open by these massive arms that extend out from the boat, and they can raise or lower them depending on how deep the water is and where they want to fish. Once everything is set, the nets go down, and then it's just a waiting game.
When the shrimp get so big, and this where we fish way over there, 30 miles from here, the big shrimp's already gone from there. The lakes we fish over there is from 3 foot to 7 foot deep. This one here is about 18 foot deep out in the middle.
Okay.
So it takes this one longer to get cold, the water to get colder, for the shrimp to leave.
Oh, okay.
And they'll leave. I mean, there'll be little ones, medium ones, small, big, large, all coming out together, but there'll be a lot of the bigger ones by themselves.
Oh, okay.
Because the little ones ain't ready to go. The big ones are, the way I see it, they full grown, they're big enough to walk the big water, the ocean.
Yeah.
Where the little ones, they not.
Kind of stay in here.
And sometimes these things, they get sweet, a real sweet taste. The shrimp does and the crab. And the reason for that, in the shallow water, that's when they get sweet. And it helps them adjust when they leave the kind of brackish type water and then hit the real salty Gulf. It helps them get used to the salt water.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Without it killing.
Yeah.
I go out to I go that way to the pulling that way.
And
That's where we're gonna find those shrimp, my boy!
We were at full throttle here, but the current was so strong the boat wasn't moving an inch. All that power and nowhere to go.
Not very successful.
Shrimping is tough.
When it was time to check the nets, which was about an hour after we'd been sitting in the current, the crew untied the ends and let everything spill out onto the table. It wasn't a big catch, mostly fish, but there were shrimp in there. And even though it wasn't overflowing, it was pretty cool to see what came up from below the surface. For us, it wasn't really about how much we caught, it was just getting to be part of the whole process.
Is that what that is? Halibut? What?
Once everything's on the table, the crew starts sorting it out by hand. Shrimp in one pile, fish in another, and anything that doesn't belong gets set aside to go back. It's fast, it's methodical, and they can spot what's what almost instantly. Watching it up close really gives you an appreciation for how much experience it takes.
Look at him, he's two-fisted.
And shrimp. That's so cool.
After the sorting comes the cleaning, and fish-loving Jay over there was in it like a dirty shirt. The crew walked him through how to peel fresh shrimp the right way, straight from the net to the table. And of course, there was no shortage of advice on the best way to cook them too.
Am I going to fry them? Oh, I don't know.
Let's just say he was very much in his element.
Nobody eats the heads, do they?
Something like this. They hard to peel whenever they fresh,
Yeah.
but leave them legs on there.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Oh, really?
Tastes like soft-shell crab.
Huh.
Oh, right. I think they dropped down like 50 something around 4 o'clock.
We made it back from our shrimping adventure. Wasn't very
Shrimpy?
shrimpy. Yeah. We didn't catch a lot, but we did have some fun. Not quite what we expected, which was interesting.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not how I thought they would shrimp, but
it's not Forrest Gump.
no. Yeah, they did it all wrong. They lied to us in Forrest Gump.
I
Just
think
trolling
so.
around. Well, I guess it's probably from different areas or whatever, but this spot, they go into a current flow as the tide goes and they kind of stay still.
Yeah,
The current is so strong, the shrimp go into the nets. So,
basically.
anyway, we didn't do very well on the fishing part or shrimping part, but
We learned.
we did get some shrimp.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, and we learned a lot about this area and the shrimp and the industry. I'm sure we'll go through it when we actually put this video together.
We got a big old bag of shrimp.
Some shrimp tacos. Anyway, I gotta bag this up, smaller bags.
So it fits in the freezer. The next day had us packing up and heading out toward a harvest host just outside of Lafayette. This was one we'd been looking forward to for a while because it came with a swamp tour, and Jason was fully geared up to finally see some gators. On what should have been a short, easy drive, we ended up a bit under a time crunch. The tour operator called and asked if we could come earlier than planned. Bad weather was moving in on our original day, so like usual, we rolled with it and said, yep, we can be there. That meant arrive, park, set up quick, grab a snack, and hop straight into the swamp boat. RV life has a way of stacking things back to back, and this week still had a lot more going on.
All right, y'all, welcome to Lake Norton. We got 900 acres here, 700 swamps, 200 is open waters like y'all see out in the middle of the lake. The swamp we're going to be in is shallow, y'all. We're going to be in water 1 to 5 feet deep. It's a very shallow lake. Bell-bottom basins, the rough bays, those are your bald cypress. Those trees live an average of 1,500 years. And that is a great white egret sitting on your left over here. That's why we have a bird sanctuary, because of that bird right here. It's not the state bird, it's just a very protected bird here. Now watch this. This is my favorite tree. This tree right here. That's a tupelo gum. This tree puts out a mosquito repellent. We don't have no mosquitoes out here year round. That's about a 4.5-foot alligator here.
Can I touch them?
They live 35 to 50 years. You cannot tell the males from the female. From the eyes to the nose, every inch is going to represent a foot. And we estimate over 2,000 gators in here, y'all. Some days we see every one, some days we don't see none. Now look, there's a little turtle right here. That's a good sign. We're going to see a lot of turtles. He's on that log to the left here. That's going to be a yellow-bellied slider.
Oh, we're going in.
That's an ibis.
Those are ibis?
Yeah, they got a curved beak.
There goes a seahawk, y'all. There's an osprey. That's a seahawk right there. A little juvenile.
We have those around.
We do have eagles out here. We got osprey, which is that right there. Rosette spoonbills, large, beautiful kingbirds. You got to keep your eyes open in the trees. Perched up on branches, and you'll see some. So
Oh,
keep
yeah.
your eyes open.
That's a pileated.
Okay, look, there's a pileated woodpecker, y'all. There should be another one close
There is.
by.
Yeah, right up there.
They do travel in there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the pileated woodpecker. The largest species of woodpecker out there, y'all. The alligators, they live 35 to 50 years. Their main diet's fish, but they will eat birds, turtles, smaller alligators. Anything smaller than them that gets in front of them, they're going to try to get to them. They got 80 teeth in their mouth at any given time. 40 on the top, 40 on the bottom. They go through 3,000 in their lifetime. Probably a lot of that is trying to eat turtles. And they open their mouth like that, y'all.
I was waiting to see if he was already caught and mounted and just put back there. But you can see his neck moving a bit.
They vent like a dog. Stella. That's Stella, y'all. Them babies will be all around Stella, y'all. Them babies will be on the right side or on the left side of Stella. I don't want to get too close.
Thank you.
Obvious reasons. But there's a bunch of babies in here somewhere, y'all.
How come she's not aggressive with us this close to her
Well, hey,
babies?
when she was nesting, she did. She jumped in my boat already.
Oh.
Wait, did she jump in the boat? Moss in the tree. That's called Spanish moss. That's not part of the tree. That just grows off the tree.
With the swamp tour wrapped up, which was honestly an amazing experience, we settled back into the rig and stayed put for a few days. A cold front moved through while we were there, and when I say cold, I mean frost on the ground cold. Most days we just stayed tucked inside, but in the afternoons it warmed up enough that Jason and I could get out for a couple walks. We caught some more birds on camera, of course, and even spotted a few more gators around Lake Martin. What a treat. After a few chilly days, we packed up and hit the road again. Texas, here we come. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the ride, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Just rolling with it.